just turn things over to you guys.
Strangely enough,
I'll hear it then. So.
on that sign you can call behind closed doors.
Yeah.
There's actually Pig Argus Robbins that played
Oh, I met him.
on the truck. Did you?
I met Pit Argus Robbins in Austin.
Mark, hey, Mackie.
Hey! Hey! I got your email, by the way. You'll get, I'll answer you shortly.
I should. Back from the big town. Yeah, man.
Here you go, brother.
You ever hear of Johnny? Johnny or Chuck Berry going around with Johnny Be Good? And
No, I never did.
I was telling you about a guitar case he found. Johnny Be Good and Chris the back of Johnny.
No kid. To Chuck Berry. That makes sense to me.
I'll talk more.
Yeah.
Thanks.
On tonight's program will be hits that never made the charts. That's all it is.
You will. I'll remind you.
Oh yeah. By the way.
Rex, you know who else was over there, Rex?
Who?
Standing right in front of those windows? Bud Abbott from Abbott and Costello.
Really?
Saw a picture of him 2 months back, and right in front of the.
In front of the landmark?
Yeah. Pretty cool.
I don't know if I told you
I wonder if anyone remembers him today.
If it goes walls,
The
good
current
talk.
generation.
That's where the whole routine started. See, 'cause someone was over on 3rd Street and they said, "Who's on 3rd?" Who's on front? I don't know.
Who's on first?
It's time. 7 bells.
Time to go? Okay, Marty, time to go.
Yep. Perfect. You got it. Yeah. Welcome everybody to Bluesday Tuesday. I'm not using the mic, but I have a really big mouth, my wife tells me, so I don't need it. My name's Marty Ackitts, and I'm the Adult Programming Coordinator for the library. So happy that you're all here tonight. It's beautiful. The air, you can breathe it without coughing, so that's fantastic. Make you aware of just a couple things that are coming up. Tomorrow night we have one more concert on the steps for June, and that's going to be Chris Valenti here at 7 p.m. And then next week we have Oregon. We have a really squeaky car. They need to get their brakes fixed. And and we have Origami Magic on Wednesday night, next Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. So I'm always so excited for Bluesday Tuesday. I have to thank the Market Area Blues Society for sponsoring this, and also the Vita Family Foundation, who sponsors and provides funds for Bluesday Tuesday. And also I need to thank the Friends of Peter White Public Library all the time, because they're my friends and they pay for things like the live streaming. And last but not least, if you are a reader, even if you are not a reader, we have the Adult Reading Challenge. You know what? Go out and get a comic book from us, read it, turn it in, and you could win a prize. There's lots of prizes. So please, please, please do that. So I'm going to turn this over now to Bill and UP Gumbo.
Thank you, guys. We're happy to be here. We're going to play a little music from Mississippi and Louisiana. Here's an old Lazy Lester tune. Always on my mind, you got sugar coated love. sugar-coated love. Well, she's a real gone baby, now don't mean baby she's mine. I don't have to worry about money, don't have to worry about clothes, don't have to worry about anything, 'cause she's my baby, and goodness knows she got sugar-coated love, sugar-coated love. So real gone baby, now don't mean maybe she's mine. One hand. Take your pick of the oven, take anyone you may choose, but I'm sticking with this baby of mine, 'cause she got what I can use. She got sugar-coated love, sugar-coated love. But she's a real gone baby, now don't mean maybe she's mine. Got to go to sugar-coated love, the best kind of loving they got, kind of love that makes the old feel young, makes the North Pole burning hot. Sugar-coated love, sugar-coated love. She's a real gone baby, now don't mean maybe she's mine. She's a real gone baby, now don't mean maybe she's mine. Thank you. No Louisiana pop tune. Being summer and we're playing outside, I thought I'd lighten up on all those, you ran away with my girl, you horse thief kind of songs, and all those real tough ones, and try to do songs a little more upbeat. But we're gonna have a couple of real blues in here just to keep things from getting saccharine. Here's a happy blues. I got the blues so bad one time, it put my face in a permanent frown. But now I'm feeling so much better, I could take off into town. I woke up this morning feeling so good, I just had to lay right down again. Put your big leg over me, mama, I might not feel it good again. What do you say, Warren? so much better, I could take walking. Feeling so much better, I could take walking. Feeling so much better, I could take a walk into town. Thank you. That was a Taj Mahal tune. We do another Louisiana song. This one goes back to the 1950s. One of the really big stars out of Louisiana in the early rockabilly movement. His name was Webb Pierce. He had a guitar-shaped swimming pool and he had two big longhorns in front of his Cadillac. They don't make them like that anymore.
With silver dollars glued on.
The silver dollars were all over that car, just glued all over. Talk about conspicuous consumption.
He never had a lack of change for the parking meter.
Never had to say, "Can I write you a check for that?" Whoop. I'm experimenting with a new mic placement here from a friend of mine down south. His name is Reverend Robert. He's a great resonator guitar player. He's going to be up here this summer. Anyway, here's that Webb Pierce tune. This is called "I Ain't Never." And I'm going to do your "No, No, No, Never," huh? Okay. Ready?
He just needs to get on the mic and talk about it.
Well, I ain't never seen nobody like you. No, 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 never. Have I ever seen nobody like you? Well, you call me up and say you need me at night. You have to hurry, hurry, but I'm there on time. I walk right up and knock on your door. Landlord says you ain't here no more. I ain't never, oh darling, seen nobody like you. But I love you, yes I love you, love you just the same. Well, you tell me things that you don't mean. You got me living in a haunted dream. You make me do things I don't wanna do. My friends all say what's wrong with you. I ain't never, oh darling, seen nobody like you. But I love you, yes I love you. Love you just the same. Love you just the same. One more. I love you just the same. Thank you. Webb Pierce. What's your first note going to be on the chorus? On down south. Okay. We do this song here that was done by one of the great songwriters out of New Orleans, a guy who wrote a lot of hits for Fats Domino. He started out when he was about 14 or 15 years old. He recorded a song called "See You Later, Alligator," which he wrote. He was playing in a band at that time in New Orleans and heard somebody say it in a bar, and he wrote it down and wrote a song about it. And that got him a contract with Chess Records, but they didn't know what to do with him because he was white. Yeah, at least that's the way he tells it. And Anyway, he ended up, Sam! That's my daughter over there.
Hi, Sam and Pat. Don't let us hold you up.
Anyway, he went on to write a whole bunch of great songs like Walking in New Orleans and all those wonderful tunes for Fats Domino. This is one called Down South in New Orleans. And Warren Hands is going to sing it for us.
Head down south in New Orleans, prettiest girl I've ever seen. Sparkling eyes and lips so sweet. We make love to the rumble beat. Ships at anchor, my suitcase packed. I got a one-way ticket, ain't coming back. Life's a pleasure, love's a dream. Down south in New Orleans. Well, my dark-haired baby, I'm on my way. Back into your arms to stay. I'm tired of work, I wanna play. Make sweet love all night and day. Down south in New Orleans, prettiest girl I've ever seen. Sparkling eyes and lips so sweet. We make love to the rumble beat. Ships at anchor, my suitcase packed. I got a one-way ticket, ain't coming back. Life's a pleasure, love's a dream. Down south in New Orleans. Take it, Bill. Well, my dog said on Toulouse Street, he saw the Creole girls I see. Dance all day, drink all night, do it wrong till I do it right. Down south in New Orleans, prettiest girl I've ever seen. Sparkling eyes and lips so sweet. We make love to the rumble beat. Ships at anchor, my suitcase back. I got a one-way ticket, ain't coming back. Life's a pleasure, love's a dream. Down south in New Orleans. Yes, life's a pleasure, love's a dream. Down south in New Orleans.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Song by Bobby Charles, whose the other name was Bobby Guidry. He was a Cajun.
All them Cajuns got two names.
Okay, we're gonna do
Depends on
one.
what side of the river they're at.
We're doing one from a guy from Marksville, Louisiana. He quit school when he was 12 years old and started dancing in front of bands for tips. And eventually he learned how to play guitar and learned how to play really great harmonica. And he worked his way into Chicago by the 1940s, early 40s. And he joined a band later that decade that was run by Muddy Waters. And he changed everything for blues, because that was the core of the first really electric blues band. And he ran his harmonica through a guitar amp, and he got a distorted sound that no one had ever heard before, and that became an important part of the Muddy Waters approach. Anyway, he made a couple of solo records that all got collected eventually, and released, I think, not long after his death, but he was mugged to death in Chicago. But he's a legend. His name is His name is Marion Walter. Marion Walter Jacobs. He was known as Little Walter. This is one of his songs called Tell Me Mama. Tell me, mama, who's that my love? Won't you tell me, mama, why love goes? Yeah, when I come in, who's gone out the back door? Well, don't you call me mama, you got me raising sand. And out there boogie woogie, it's something I don't understand. Won't you tell me, mama, who's that wild love goes? Yeah, when I come in, who's going out the back door? What's that, Warren? Now, mama, this is something I ain't never seen before. Some man take my money, always slamming my back door. Tell me, mama, who's that wild love goes? Yeah, when I come in, who's going out the back door? Well, he come by me running, smelling like a whiskey can. One hand in his hand and my overcoat too. Won't you tell me, mama, who's that wild love goes? Yeah, when I come in, who's going out the back door? Do someone. Won't you tell me, mama, who's that wild love goes? Won't you tell me, mama, who's that wild love goes? Yeah, when I come in, who's going out the back door? Yeah, when I come in, who's gone out the back door? Thank you. Tell me, mama. Little Walter song. We're going to do a song from the Zydeco tradition here. Zydeco was the music of the free Creole black people in Louisiana. And there were people of color in Louisiana, you know, through its whole history, you know, even during slave times. But the Zydeco music developed about, you know, right alongside Cajun music a little later, and they share a lot of influences. Just check my tuning because we're outside. And the one we're about to hear is from C.J. Chenier, who is the son of the guy who put Zydeco music on the jukebox. His name is Clifton Chenier. Metal guitars tend to be a little sensitive to temperature. All right. Close enough for blues, I think. This is about a guy who believes if he had a dime for every heartache, he'd be a millionaire.
Especially with compound interest. Whoops. Did you read the wrong note? Were you looking for an E note?
Yeah, I was.
Or should be this right here?
Yeah, the problem is,
I don't think your open string is on the right note.
you don't think this is tuned right?
Here's the note you're looking for, E. What does the display say? Does it say E?
Yeah.
Are
That's
you
it.
sure it doesn't say E sharp or E flat or something?
This is fun.
There you go. Now he's homing in on it. It's a lesson in pitch.
Oh man, that's terrible. Okay. Well,
You know, you might have a metal guitar, but I got a plastic piano here, so don't feel bad. There we go.
if I had $1 for every time you broke my heart, messed up my mind, I'd be the richest man in the world. Troubles and interest, you might return. I'd have a new car, money to burn. I'd be the richest man in the world. Well, how can the love I'm dreaming of be so hard to find? Good woman's touch, mornings when I rise, and baby I give her every single dime. If teardrops were diamonds from the African mine, heartaches were silver, whole life would shine. I'd be the richest man in the world. That's worn on fiddle. knocking the love I'm dreaming of be so hard to find. Good woman's touch, mornings when I rise, and baby I give every single dime. If teardrops were diamonds, the African mine, heartaches were silver, the whole life would shine. I'd be the richest man. I'd be the richest man. I'd be the richest man in the world. Oh yes I would. Thank you. Took us a while to get there, but we're doing old cowboy songs.
You want
here.
to know who's that by?
Oh, that song is by C.J. Chenier. C.J. Chenier, son of Clifton Chenier. C.J.'s still out there. He's an amazing player. This is an old cowboy song. It was done by Leon Chapelier and the Lone Star Cowboys in 1933. But it was recorded by the Kofer brothers in 1927. It's just that the Chapelier's band had the hit. It's about a notorious neighborhood in Dallas, Texas called Deep Ellum. And I hear this song is all over the place now. There are all kinds of people playing this song. Lisa Marquette. It's called Deep Ellum Blues. And it's a reminder you got to be careful about where you have fun.
Be careful where you take that thing.
Or you think you're going to have fun. When you go down to Deep Ellum, keep your money in your shoe. People in Deep Ellum got them Deep Ellum blues. Oh, sweet mama, daddy got them Deep Ellum blues. I said, oh, sweet mama, daddy got them Deep Ellum. Well, I once had a girlfriend, she meant the world to me. Got down in Deep Ellum, now she ain't what she used to be. Oh, sweet mama, daddy got them Deep Ellum blues. I said, oh, sweet mama, daddy got them Deep Ellum. When you go down to Deep Ellum, you can have a little fun. Keep $10 ready when that policeman comes. Oh, sweet mama, daddy got them Deep Ellum blues. I said, oh, sweet mama, daddy got them Deep Ellum. once knew a preacher, preached a word to me and you. Got down in deep valley, now his preaching day about through. Whoa, sweet mama, daddy got them deep valley blues. I said, oh, sweet mama, daddy got them deep valley. Do one, Warren. When you go down too deep, Ella, keep your money in your pants. Women in deep, Ella, don't give a man a chance. Oh, sweet mama, daddy got them deep, Ella blues. I said, oh, sweet mama, daddy got them deep, Ella. I said, oh, sweet mama, daddy got them deep Ella. I actually met somebody in Marquette who was from Fort Worth, Dallas, or at least lived there for some of her life, and she actually partied in Deep Ellum, so there's still a Deep Ellum down there. Sun is shining. We played this one too. This is a Jimmy Reed tune. I'm going to play a song by Jimmy Reed. Well, I think of all the great Mississippi players, Jimmy Reed was one of the most revered among the guys that I've talked to down there that played music down there. And me and one of our road dog buddies, me and the Bones Man played down there in the springtime in Mississippi, and one of our road dog buddies, his name is Jake, and I actually looked up where Jimmy Reed was born, and it was really out in the middle of a cotton field. I mean, there's nothing there, no city there. There's a marker, a state marker, and then it's all cotton and a couple of houses. That's it.
3,000 windmills.
Believe it or not, that's most of the Delta.
But during the 1950s, that Jimmy Reed just owned the airwaves when it came to blues, especially in Chicago, where he recorded for VJ Records, and those records are pretty collectible even now. Anyway, this is one of his songs. It's a happy tune from Jimmy Reed. Jimmy Reed, by the way, is the guy who wrote Big Boss Man. And you probably know a bunch of songs by him, you just don't know it. This is called Sun is Shining. Come on, baby, help me to spend my dough. Come along, baby, help me to spend this dough. Well, I Jimmy Reed. Now we're really going to change it up here because, you know, you're down in an area around the Gulf. There's a lot of island music that creeped in there that had a big influence, obviously, on a lot of the rhythm and blues music and other music out in New Orleans. So we thought that might be a degree enough closer to play an old island song. This is actually really old. It was around 1900 off the Bahamas. There was a shrimper that sunk with a notorious crew, and the story went round about just how crazy they were. And around 1916, somebody collected a song that had been passed around about it and published the song. And then in 1927, it was collected by Carl Sandburg for a book of songs that he put together called The American Songbook. A lot of people don't know that Sandburg was quite a folk singer, played guitar and everything. And this is the song that was collected, and I bet you'll know what it is. Come on, this look, John P. Grandfather and me, round Nassau town we roam, drinking all night, got into a fight, feel so break up. I wanna go home. So hoist up the John B. sail, see how the mainsail sets. Call for the captain, my shore, let me go home. Let me go home. I wanna go home. So break up, I wanna go home. You know the first mate, he got drunk, woke up the people's trunk. The constable had to come and take him away. Sheriff Johnstone, why don't you leave me alone? Feel so break up, I wanna go home. Sing it if you know. Hoist up the John B. sail, see how the mainsail sets. Call for the captain, my shore, let me go home. Wanna go home, feel so break up, I wanna go home. Play a little something there, Warren. away on my grip. Then he came and he ate up all of my corn. Let me go home. I wanna go home. This is the worst trip since I've been born. I stopped the John B. said, see how the main trail sits. Call for the captain marshal, let me go home. Let me go home. I wanna go home. I feel so break up. I wanna go home. I feel so break up. I wanna go home. Thank you. A great song. Genuine folk song.
Written by genuine folks.
Written by genuine folks, that's true. We're doing a song from a guy who was from Bossier City, Louisiana. He also lived in Memphis and Mississippi. His name was Jesse Winchester. He was, I think, one of the great American songwriters. And this is what I remember from one of his early recordings. This is called That's the Touch I Like. Red ribbon in your hair, kinda glad that you put it there, 'cause that's a touch I like. That's a touch I like. That's a touch I like. The scent of flowers when you are near. Your eyes are wide and bright and clear. That's a touch I like. That's a touch I like. That's a touch I like. Maybe I could see you sometime. Goodness, you look pretty. And I will be on my very best behavior. Holding doors of coats for you. And trying to be witty. Losing all my cool to win your favor. You got no words to waste. about, we just got a couple left. We've got a tune here about the old-fashioned roadhouses. You hear a lot of songs about these things, back in the 30s and 40s especially. And then in the 1940s, a guy named, what was his name? Don Ray, who had written the Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy of Company B and some other things, got together with a guy named eight to the bar Freddie Slack, who was a boogie woogie piano player, and they wrote a whole bunch of hits. They wrote The House of Blue Lights, Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy. This is another one he wrote. This was sung by Ella Mae Morse, who was just a teenage R&B singer from Texas. And look her up on YouTube, because her stuff is amazing. She's really a great singer. And she had to have her mother with her in those days because she was so young. She was a great singer. This song's called Down the Road a Piece. Down the Road a Piece. That was recorded by a lot of people. Chuck Berry recorded a version of that. I think the Rolling Stones even did a version of that sometime. This is going to be our last tune here. We've picked up this song from a guy named Russell Smith, who was the leader of a band called the Amazing Rhythm Aces. And I don't know if you ever heard of those guys. They're really great. And Russell Smith was 70 years old when he died a couple of years ago, and he always sang this song at the end of his show. He called it the Cowboy Song, but I learned it as The End Is Not in Sight. knew it all along. Have to come back home. Just living on the road. It made me tired and sore. Like a bird without a nest. Like a stranger in the night. And my soul must have its rest. The end is not in sight. Like a sweet magnolia wine, honey dripping from your mouth. And that little girl of mine, oh, she's the finest in the South. And days are getting harder, nights are getting colder. You know I wanna go back home. Lay my head down on your shoulder. Well, I knew it all along. I had to come back home. Just living on the road. It didn't make me tired and sore. Like a bird without a nest. Like a stranger in the night. When my soul cries out for help. But the end is not in sight. No, my soul must have its rest. The end is not in sight. No, my soul must have its rest. The end is not in sight. No, my soul must have its rest. The end is not in sight. Thank you very much. We're UP Gumbo. That's Warren Hands over there, our chief instrumentalist, piano and fiddle. Thank you. The Bones Band here on all this percussion. The great Rex Havoc here on bass. And I'm Bill Hart. Thanks for coming tonight. We'll see y'all later.